Well, good evening. Let's do a roll call so that we can bring the meeting to order. I hereby call to order the local Beer Brothers Lodge of the Royal Order of the Burn Pot with a roll call. Beer Brother Mark.
Here.
Beer Brother Brett.
Here.
Beer Brother Dan. Here. Okay, well, I'm going to put my lodge hat on. Okay, well, Beer Brother Mark, would you please start us in the ceremonial lighting of the burn pot?
If there was some kind of music, I would have it playing right now, but do, 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 ah!
No longer lighter.
All right, we're lit. Well, not yet, but.
We'll be by the time we're done. I'll do my prep.
Oh, look at that. I see two ears on the backside of his burn pot.
There we go.
He's being followed by Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins is, he might join us. Okay, well, I have the beer tonight, which is, let me get it out. It's a beer from Alabama, brewed by a couple of good old Auburn boys. I think there's some Alabama guys in there too, but this is one I found years ago. Yes, the Peanut Butter Porter by Back 40 Brewing. Now, when they first started, they were actually brewing out of Mississippi because you couldn't brew beer in Alabama a couple of years ago. So they were gypsy brewers, and so now that they changed the law, since Alabama needs all the income they can get, allow people to make beer. So I started drinking this several years ago. I really like it, and I'm going to try in a minute. I happened to find the can that's been sitting in my little fridge for over a year that someone had given me that I forgot about. So I'm going to see if it's as good a year old as it is when it's fresh.
I wonder if it sits like that, if it gets like peanut butter when you leave it in your cabinet for a long time.
I don't know. Well, I'm hoping it's not like peanut butter. You got to stir it up to get the real peanut butter, the kind that you.
Good stuff, Dan.
Yes, good stuff.
Oh, this looks good.
Oh yeah. Now.
Oh, look at that. Nice head.
I have a Back 40 beer glass, so tonight I'm using a Eagle Creek. Doing a shout out to Eagle Creek. They make the best praline beer. Yeah, I love their praline beer. Anyway, so nice creamy head, not super thick, nice little pour. It's
rich,
pretty opaque, but
almost looks like root beer. Smells good.
It's definitely rich, dark. It's
I like that.
Roasty. It's roasty and butter. I think some people would find this probably a little bit overpowering because it is kind of a dense beer and the flavors are so intense. But I can sit back. Now, I'm drinking this really cold, so I'm going to let it warm up.
It's a bit sweet, too.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little sweetness in there.
Yeah, it's got kind of like that milk sweetness to it. And, well, let's read the thing.
Guys, I taste like, I don't taste peanut butter at all. I taste hazelnut.
Yeah, well, no, there's definitely some nutty stuff.
That's what I'm getting right away.
Yeah. So the can says it's creamy, it's big, it's just what it sounds like, brewed with crushed peanuts and a malt bill thick enough to slather on some bread. Peanut butter porter belongs on your grocery list right next to the jelly, bananas, and bacon. Comfort food in a can. Yes, it is.
That is really good.
Now,
yeah, I like it.
The peanut butter jelly time that Catawba makes, I think is a fantastic beer, and I think from my taste, I really love that. Of course, that's like a 2-week seasonal that comes out every February. So, no, I guess it comes out around March. And Mark, you and I went up to the uncasking one time. I love this beer.
That beer is made with real peanut butter, isn't it? I mean, they use real peanut butter in that beer. Real peanut butter.
What? Where?
At Catawba.
Oh, you mean there's one over Catawba? Oh no. What they did is they aged it on peanuts. They didn't use peanut butter. They aged it on peanuts, and then but they added a raspberry puree kind of stuff to make the jelly. And of course they had to clean, it left this glob of peanut oil in the bottom of the kettles and the tanks, and then they had to like sterilize everything because they couldn't let peanuts into the system. And I'm sure Back 40 does the same thing, so someone that has peanut allergy doesn't wind up getting anaphylactic shock drinking one of their other beers.
This is nice.
Yes, this if it was proper to drink a beer at breakfast, I think this would be good. Bowl oatmeal, maybe some scrambled eggs.
Brett, I have to agree.
I'd like to sit back and have maybe some bacon. Sitting around maybe a campfire, camping, and have a cold beer with breakfast. And it's
okay. I think we've come up with a beer that would go great with either a BLT or just a plain old bacon sandwich.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Bacon sandwich.
I'm with you on that. I agree completely.
I think Back 40 did good on these.
Yeah, I agree. So Dowdy, Beer Brother Dan, sorry about that. Your witness protection program, you'll have to leave town now.
I answer to a lot of names.
So what would you give the rating on this one?
I'd make this 8 to 9. Just because, it's a consistent beer. This tastes just like I've had it before. It's a good beer. I very seldom give 10s. I don't think I could spend a night drinking 2 or 3 of these. This is one that I can sit, enjoy a beer, can only drink one, for the night. This will be mine. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think if I've ever seen it on tap or not. I've seen some of the other Back 40 taps on tap, but not the peanut butter porter. Of course, it might. I'm kind of curious. Anytime you put something like peanuts or something in a beer, it can settle out. It can change. You don't know, the flavor could change on you if you let it sit around. That's why I'm kind of curious to see what this other beer tastes like.
Your brother Brett, what do you think?
I'm getting old, so I was just looking at the alcohol content. Do you guys want to take a guess what it is? It is on the can.
It is
7%. 7.
I had to use a little brighter light to see it.
I'm not going to look. About 6.5.
Mark, what do you think?
I think 7.
10%.
Okay. Woo.
10%.
10%.
Yeah.
This is what my can says. That last little kind of fine print.
It does.
Ounces.
Gadsden, Alabama. A couple of good things came out of Gadsden, Alabama. One of my best buddies, Gordon Bug, came out of Gadsden, Alabama.
It's a pretty good beer.
Yeah, it is an excellent beer. And
the 8, 9, it's a good beer.
Yeah, and a couple of years ago, the can has changed. It used to be, if I'm not mistaken, had some blue or something. It wasn't the green. It was a different color.
Well,
and matter of fact, I think I've got one sitting upstairs.
Fred, what is your rating on this? What would you say?
It's 8, 9. I would go with. Yeah, I think it's good. I would say that the wrapping on this can is a little different than most. It's not printed. It looks like it's a piece of plastic.
It is. It's probably rolled. Lot of Brett and Mark and I saw that at Catawba, where back in their old. This is what 3 years ago, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
We watched their canning line, which literally was in like a 20 by 20 area, and you had these pallets that just automatically did it, turn it over, washed them, dried them, and then came over. And if I'm not mistaken, it did 4 cans at a time. And it was they were canning like at 32.2 degrees, and these things would come down, fill it up, and then would go over, hit it with some nitrogen or some inert gas, and then it would seal them.
Yeah.
Literally, they went around and then just wrapped the label on, and shrink wrap. It's like a shrink wrap, and that's similar. This looks very similar. And now this is the year-old beer that's been sitting in the little fridge, and tastes pretty darn close to the same. So here's a beer. I would imagine that a beer with peanuts in it sitting around for a year would go bad. But that right there tastes as good as that one. Unfortunately, I don't see a date on it. Yeah, I do. What? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
How old is that beer?
It's the same 6-pack.
Yeah, because I was.
Hey, it was a great story. It was a great story until I read the fine print. No, it's from January this year. So
Oh, that's not
it's a 3-month-old
real.
beer. It's not very old. Okay, so much for that theory, but it still tastes like the one I had not too long.
That from can to can, they taste the same.
That's
You know,
right. Well, hey,
that's-
yeah, it's from the same 6-pack.
Oh, that was funny. Now this is good. This is really good.
It is good.
Good choice.
I could have lied. I could have lied and said it was. So, oh look, it says January of 19 or something. So
Not
I guess
my internet connection.
no, I guess I must have had a room. Well, I've got the little fridge in the garage and a little fridge in the tasting room. So I guess I must have had to load balance.
Have you noticed as it warms up, the alcohol taste? I can taste the alcohol flavor a little stronger.
Yeah,
as it's
definitely.
warmed up a little bit.
To me, I'm as it warms up, I'm tasting a little less sweetness, a little bit more nuttiness, a little bit of dry nuttiness. The creamy part doesn't cream up as much.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I've got 2 to drink now.
Yeah.
So what about you, Mark? I mean, did you give this a rating?
I mean, I really like it. I mean, I think it's really good. I think I would give it an 8.5. I think that it's really got a great flavor, and it's delicious. And I like the advertising. I think the can is kind of cool. The way they've got this, it looks like, dare I say, Jif. It looks like kind of the can for Jif, and it's good.
Yeah.
And it's a really good beer. So there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think once again, we've had more porters lately, and they all been good. Brett Sauer last week was good. So this is, I'm
Very good.
pleasantly.
I think we've done pretty darn good.
Yep. So
next week we're going to try another beer, and that is the Green Man ESB, I think, right?
Yep.
So we'll give that one a shout and see how that is. Which we already kind of know how that is, but we'll do a formal review.
Well, we've never done a formal review on it, and I'm really looking forward. And you might when we went up for that release of the peanut butter and jelly time at Catawba in Asheville, we went around the corner and you shot some video of Green Man when they were about to have a cold open.
Yep.
And they have a phenomenal tasting room.
Yeah.
Probably one of the nicest tasting rooms, 2-level tasting rooms I've ever seen. And I'd love to. We need to do a road trip one time to go up and see what their final, what it finally wound up looking like, because they were still literally screwing in the light bulbs and doing some other stuff.
Yeah, they were. I remember it started snowing when we were there,
We did have a little bit of snow flurries,
but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And that's when we found out about Wicked Weed's Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and we both decided to get the same order, and it was so much Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
We could have flown home with our Brussels sprouts,
That's
literally.
Right. Well, I think we agree once again. Hey, we pick a good beer.
Yeah.
So far, we're on a roll. So I think that it's time to call the meeting to adjourn, and let's meet together this time next week. Let's go for the Green Man ESB.
Sounds like a plan, guys. Good night.
I hereby call the meeting adjourned.